Hi, Muji.
Hi.
I don't have a specific question, but I wanted to come up to help let go of recurring energies in the body and of the mind, and hopefully...
Yeah. What are they doing? Why you are troubled by that?
Because they're physically, it feels like it's overpowering me, and
I see.
my mind is judging me for that. And it thinks that other people are judging me, and in return...
When the mind judges you, what exactly is it judging?
It thinks that perhaps I'm a weak person for it. Yeah.
Your question is a very universal question, so I'm opening it up for everybody like that.
Yeah.
Because many people ask same thing like you're speaking, no? The mind cannot intimidate the pure self. It can only intimidate the idea you have of who you are. Again, the mind cannot intimidate the pure being, the pure self. It only can prostrate to that. It can only intimidate your self-image or the idea you have of who you are. Now, what the mistake is for us is that we are taking the idea of who we are to be the fact of who we are. If you take it to be the fact of who you are, you'll feel something is wrong with my life. I'll try and improve my life. I'll try and improve and so on. Who follows this thing? Very good. So, because of this misidentification, we're working in the wrong thing. It's like you're working and polishing all your rubbish, which one day you're going to throw away. But we have fallen in love with this activity, and we can't stop. And somebody, why are you polishing your rubbish? He says, yes, yeah, but it's useless. I know. You even say, I know it intellectually. I said, but you must know it or you don't know it. And something is there, and I'm deeply serious about it because I see how much trouble is caused by it. All the atrocities in the world is due to this in some way. The misconception of who we are. So the mind actually is doing a good job because it bites you and kicks you and teases you, then because if it doesn't do that, you want to make this limited field your home, in the sense that you're living like you're eternal here. You're not eternal here. This is not your eternal place. So you have to dive more deeply to go in more, isn't it? Because this is what happens. Everyone who has suffered becomes more interesting spiritually, basically. If you're just growing up on sugar puffs, you have nothing really to offer. People talk, it's just nonsense. But when you have had to dive in and to say, no, what is this, and not just complain, but kind of look and sink more deeply until the arms of the mind is not long enough to reach you, then you're in a beautiful place. So sometimes I say that if I engage with you at the level that you're presenting yourself, I will only be helping to reinforce the wrong idea you have about yourself. And I would not be in service to you because I know who you are. You are the self. You are myself. So therefore I say that we're looking a bit the wrong way. The mind actually has to do what the mind is doing up to a point. You see? Sometimes it also goes beyond the seeming call of duty, but it will bite your ankles to get you to not be stagnant in the wrong place. So if it is telling you, when I say, who is the mind intimidating, and you must look and see, it's telling me I'm not good enough. Well, actually you're not good enough. Not there. Good enough for what? Just to cause trouble to yourself. It's not there that you're going to be good enough. It's telling you you're not good enough because you're trying to be good enough, and you can never be good enough to be free. And you cannot be bad enough to be exempt from freedom either. You just have to understand, to have the understanding. So it may not be the response your mind wants. It wants to say, listen, to try this technique, and yeah, okay, and then somehow you do these type of spiritual press-ups and you'll be fine. And I'm saying, no, throw it out. That which is watching the mind, but not watching it interestedly. Be there. When you go there, when your attention is there, something feels very lazy there. Like very lazy. Because all your energy is being spent in the Raja zone. All your energy is in the zone of the ego mind, and you're putting energy there. So when I come into the pure place of being, you feel, yeah, but there's nothing going on here. It's not really that interesting. It's a bit boring. It's only empty, and it's like that. Then you have to watch that, because it's still the mind speaking like that. But I have to take this chance with you and tell you this, because otherwise how are you going to go beyond this thing? I am not here for self-improvement. You see, because I don't trust it. I am the doctor that doesn't want to heal the patient. I want to kill the patient. But will you hear what I'm speaking though? Do you hear what I'm speaking? No? Do you see anything in it?
I see what you're saying, but I feel like my mind doesn't want to surrender towards it for some reason. Maybe it feels attached to the body.
The mind doesn't have to, you see, again, even this advice is not for the mind. You see, it's almost your mind is speaking for you. It's not for the mind. It's for you who is aware of the mind. Let the mind speak for itself. You are aware of the mind. You are commenting, you know. Yeah, the mind doesn't want that. The mind doesn't want to surrender. I say, I don't give a toss about the mind. That's not a good word, is it? I must be getting tired or something. But anyhow, we are not talking about the mind in that sense. We're not asking the mind, do you understand, do you this? I think that is a very long route. Then the mind will cooperate like that and so on. And gradually, it's also on an evolutionary, process, you can say. But I just feel I don't have the time. If truth is truth, it must be here now. You see, it's like someone you are begging on the street, you have no money, and then someone came and says, one uncle you didn't even know about has left you £5 million. Really? Yeah. Wow. Okay, thank you. Only snag is, you got to wait for another 10 years to get it. Well, that's no use to you. If you're rich, you want the money now. You want to spend. I want to go and have a meal, take my friends out, have a nice meal. Why now you tell me I have to wait 10 years? So I am also saying, you are the self. They say, okay, but where is it? Well, if you do these 17 steps too. No, I said, well, it's here now, and where is it? And I said, okay, I am here also. Then let's see what seems to be in the way of that. This is my angle for you. What is in the way of you are not seeing this, you see? And I'm telling you why, because you are placed yourself in the position of the body-mind personality only. And it is a state of blindness for these things I'm talking. It wants to improve, it wants to grow, but always for some selfish motive. It is not the truth, it is not what you are. And the deeper the sleep is, the more you are thinking that you are this person. And all your energies are going to invest in this person. This is why we are so afraid to die, because it's always unfinished business. And I don't like to see the suffering in the human beings, or any of them, when I know that it can be, something can be done about it. And I'm pointing you to the most direct, the most straightforward, the most simple. From the beginning I'm telling you, come out of this thing. You can watch that thing, but what happens is that we have an attachment for that. And so this is where all your energy is being spent, because we have an attachment for it. You need to see this clearly to then make a conscious choice. You want to keep going like this or not? But at least just don't go into it blindly anymore, just blindly. You know? No, at least you know. You can say, yes, actually, I know it's not real, but I have so much attraction for it. I want to invest something in it. At least it's honest. Isn't it? Because we are not doing things because they're right or wrong or good or bad. That's not where we decide. Mostly we are involved in something because we are attached to it. Not because it is good or bad, but more how much attachment you have for it. Sometimes you know this thing is really not the best or something, but you have a powerful attraction for it, so you follow the attraction, you see. But these are still on the surface of consciousness, what I'm talking about now. I'm talking to you in a sagely way, to you who are that. You are not the mind, you are not the personality. At the moment, it's got a very sweet taste, bittersweet, and we are addicted to personality. So, like a reflex, our energies go there again, you see. But I'm trying to point you back to the place where you simply are. And just give it a chance. And each time you find that it grows, something's expanding. And you're able to really feel less pull to stay in the limited mold of personality. You see? Let other people talk about your personality, but you won't know what it is anymore. What is personality? I don't know what it is. It will not be a field of reference for you. And I know you're searching for that, in fact. I've seen you now over a few years, and I know you are searching. But I have to remind you, look, don't give so much energy, because you're not going to get it back from here. You're investing in the wrong thing. Anybody who is investing in just personality, it's such a waste. You don't have to even invest in the self. The self doesn't need your investment. You only have to recognize what is true, that this is your real place. But we have the smell and the energy and the presence of the false running inside the veins now. And it's a bit, but it's still only a shallow thing. It's still only a shallow thing. Nothing can remove your being. Nothing has ever done that. You are the timeless being. This is the good news. Nothing has ever stained your being. The only way it can get away with it is by dreaming that, not by actuality. This is the great message. But life is about experience. And it has to be confirmed in experience. You must be conscious that you are conscious. Otherwise, we dream that you are the other thing, and then all the energy goes into the other thing, which is just going down the drain. I know sometimes when I speak like this, less goes in because you have a lot of big ears for the unreal, and just a little tiny thing for the real thing. So I start to speak and it's not going in. Of course, it's shut down. Like the mind shuts the ears down, you know. Don't listen too much to that. This is why sometimes when we point to these things, I say, you better come with your notebook and write it down. Because as soon as you begin to really come to discover something, it's like powerful distractions are coming. The mind starts to throw stones in the bush, just to get you out of focus. This is why I say write down sometimes, because I ask the question sometimes. I told about one boy who was coming to see me like that, and he said, we were talking, and at one point I asked him, okay, but who is experiencing that thing that you just said? Who watches that? And he said, what? I said, you just talked about this thing, that I don't believe there's anything called happiness. I said, whose belief is that? And he goes, it's very hot in here, can I open the door? Okay, open the door. Okay, yeah. I said, so, what is your answer? What was the question? I said, you are saying these things. Who is the one who is unhappy? You say you describe nobody is happy. I said, what knows this thing? And he said, can I go to the toilet? Okay, go. He goes, comes back. So, yeah, what? About this point, Yeah, I just tend to lose my focus a bit and stuff. What's a way of losing the focus? Can I have a glass of water? And like this it was going on. And in the end I said, you know what? Let's stop this right now, because I don't have to do this, okay? You're free to go, the door is open. I don't lock anybody up in my house. To be free. And then he said, okay, yeah, no, I want. And only then something opened up enough. And he was through, like that. The seeing just got unblocked. So these are the little mischievous energies that are playing around in the attic. This is what is going on a lot of time. So no wonder you feel, you missed the point, and you come so close, and then you start to think about muesli and all kinds of things, and just strange thoughts come into your mind. Why is that? It's all this same, the noise of the mind is there. But you are not that. And I said, but it doesn't matter if the mind is very noisy. And this is why some of you here know that, I know you know, that even sometimes it can be very, some shouting is happening, and still inside at the same time there's peace. Does anybody know this or not? Yes. Some noise is going, but still there's peace. The peace didn't move over to make the noise come in. No, it is there, simultaneously. And the only way that can work is when you know you are the awareness itself, and you are the awareness. Then you can see the mind moving, you can feel a sense of being, you can see all this. At the same time, all of them are moving about in the ocean of the one being, and you are that being. Sometimes I have to hold your head under the water. Come up of your own self. I'm holding the wave under the water.
Thank you.
Very good.
Mac.
Okay. Come, you. Come first. Good to see you.
That wasn't the answer I was looking for, but it's what I needed.
Okay. Thank you. Very good. He says, I tell them, He says, that wasn't the answer I was looking for, but it's the answer I needed.